Okay, man, let's do it. Who's got a better career, Manny Pacquiao or Floyd Mayweather Jr.? Now, there's been quite a lot of videos on YouTube that I've been watching, and it's been really exciting and interesting, and people are debating as to who had the better career. So I'm going to give my opinion, and more importantly, I want to know what your opinion is in the box below. So, from the research that I've done, if I do miss out any facts, I'm sure you guys will let me know in the box below. You're very intelligent. So this is a tough one. This is based on opinions, right? So you got Floyd Mayweather, 50 professional fights, 50-0, never been beaten, and he's a 5-weight world champion. So he's won championships in 5 different weights. But on the other hand, you've got Manny Pacquiao, who's had 71 fights. He's taken some losses. He's had some draws, but he's an 8-weight world champion. So he's won championships in 8 different weight divisions, and Floyd's won it in 5. So when you go by who's won, the most titles in the most weight divisions, Manny Pacquiao is the winner because he's won 8, Floyd's won 5. As Mayweather says, the numbers don't lie. So judging on that accord, the facts state Pacquiao has achieved more. But when you look at different angles, and of course the Mayweather fans are going to say Mayweather's one's better, the Pacquiao fans, both are going to be biased, right? So I'm trying to be non-biased because obviously for me, Pacquiao, in my opinion, I don't care what anybody else thinks. Some people will disagree with me and they won't like my opinion, some will. I think he's the greatest fighter to ever do it, right? That's my opinion. Pacquiao has taken losses and Mayweather hasn't. So when it comes to who's undefeated, Mayweather wins in that department. And obviously, they've both fought each other and Mayweather got the decision. Some people will say Mayweather schooled Pacquiao. Some people say, no, he didn't. Pacquiao won that fight, but it was biased and the judges and the scoring and so forth. But I suppose at the end of the day, on record, Mayweather won that fight, so he wins in that department. So it's a tough one, and when you think about it, Pacquiao's still fighting now at 42 at the highest level. At 44 years of age, Mayweather's retired and he's fighting in exhibitions. So when you're comparing who's lasting longer, Pacquiao's outlasted him, and Pacquiao looks in a lot better shape in terms of his performances in the last couple of years, in my opinion, than how Mayweather's looked. And I know obviously, I'm not going to take the Logan Paul too serious, but Mayweather was trying to win. And by the way, I was supporting Mayweather in that. I wanted him to knock out Logan Paul and win. And obviously, he won that unofficially on points, but he didn't look great. He was nowhere near the Floyd Mayweather, the real Floyd, the prime Floyd, with the reflexes, the fast hands, the defense, the impeccable timing, the IQ. So it's tough, because they've both beaten great fighters. You can't deny that. Whether you go with Floyd or Pacquiao, let's give them both credit. They've both beaten great fighters. They both beat De La Hoya. They both beat Ricky Hatton. They both beat Miguel Cotto. They might have even shared some of the other fighters, but I can't think off the top of my head. Wherever I can't fill in, please guys let me know. So it really depends on what you like. But in my opinion, I think Pacquiao's got a better career. And look, for me, I don't look at losses or undefeated as an important factor. Obviously, Floyd does. And he's created that perception, throughout this whole generation in boxing. Boxers lose today and they feel like their career's over. Where in the old days, the old school fighters, even going back to the 80s, all a loss meant was you're going to come back stronger. The loss was just a question mark. Okay, you've lost. Now what are you going to do about it? You're going to come back stronger, you're going to quit, or is it going to affect you? In Pacquiao's case, he always come back stronger. Look at the Marquez knockout. That was brutal. Most fighters, I'd say all fighters, would have never been the same fighter again. Pacquiao come back and was even better. And obviously he's beaten Marquez. In my memory, I hope I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You let me know, right? Because I don't sit before I do these videos and write every single fact down. there's nothing wrong with doing that. I admire the professionalism, but for me, I just prefer getting on the camera and just, just saying what I know without having to look at BoxRec and Wikipedia and stuff like that, right? It's not really my style. As long as it's close enough and it's accurate. And that's why you guys are here as well, to fill in. You've got a lot of knowledge. Some of you are going to know more than me and stuff, right? So, just now we're talking about styles. It's going to depend what you like. I've always preferred Pacquiao's style. For me, Mayweather is one of the best boxers of all time. Best defense I've ever seen. Brilliant in terms of textbook boxing, hit and not get hit. But I don't always enjoy watching that. For me, Pacquiao is relentless. Angles, hand speed, power, every punch with bad intentions, excitement. He gets hit, comes back. For me, that's what I find more exciting and entertaining. And I just think Pacquiao's career is more impressive because he's done it in 8 different weight divisions and he's still going. He's going to fight Errol Spence. It's not like Mayweather's going to, still fighting. Obviously, that's his choice. And another factor I forgot to mention, Pacquiao has had 71 fights, Floyd's had 50. So I can't say for sure, but do you think if Mayweather had another 21 fights, he'd still be undefeated? I don't think so. So Pacquiao's had more fights. He's taken losses and Mayweather didn't take losses. But, when you've got a style like Mayweather, which is pure, it's all about safety, defense first, not taking any risks, which is obviously credits him. He's really intelligent. But Pacquiao's style is different. It's all about risk taking. Even his whole mindset is fighting is all about, risking getting knocked out to get the knockout. And I just love that. I just think it's more of a courageous style. I just think it's more respectable. You're more of a fighter. But it's going to be based on opinions, right? That's what makes it interesting. Whatever you appreciate. But look, I can totally see why there are some people that say Mayweather had the better career, because people are going to say, well, Mayweather beat Pacquiao. So how can Pacquiao have a better career than Mayweather when he beat him? Which I can understand. And then people are going to say, well, Mayweather never took a loss. He was never beaten, as he said once, which made me laugh. No one figured out the May Vinci Code. And Mayweather also won in 5 different divisions. And I'm not even going to bring the money into it, because to me, I don't care about that. I don't think the fans care about, the fact that Mayweather made the most money I think out of any boxer in history. That's not what we're talking about here. We're not talking about who's the better businessman or who made more money. We're talking about who's the better fighter, who accomplished more in terms of their wins and the manner in which they won. And for me, Floyd won in fantastic manner, but for me, Pacquiao, the way that he beat people was just spectacular. The excitement, I found him, even though I watched both of them, Mayweather's fights, Mayweather brings a hell of a lot of excitement, right? Because the way he markets himself, and obviously, whether you like Floyd or not, you always were going to tune in, whether you wanted to see him win or you wanted to see him lose. And I've been a huge admirer of some of the great wins that he had, especially when he beat, even though I was supporting Hatton at the time, I admired, that was just peak Floyd. He looked unbeatable in that Hatton fight. And I like the fight when Floyd beat Arturo Gatti. That was so many of his fights are brilliant, defensiveness, and there's too many to mention. But I just think the fact that Pacquiao was a smaller man, always beating bigger men. The Cotto win for me was one of the best. The Margarito win, De La Hoya. So, look, you could say it's a draw. It's tough. It's not easy. It's not like it's so obvious to go, well, his career is definitely better. But, when you're looking at weight classes, Pacquiao achieved more. And the fact that, as I said, Pacquiao is still going. And if he beats Errol Spence, then it's unbelievable. And even if he loses, who cares? I want him to win, but it doesn't take away the fact that he's a legend. And for me, if you don't agree that he's the best fighter to ever do it, no one can disagree that he's one of the best, right? He's up there. I don't think anyone's going to break Pacquiao's record, not anytime soon. So, look, I go with Pacquiao, right? But I'm a bit biased because I'm a Pacquiao fan. But I like to think that I would be honest. If I thought, Mayweather's career is better, then I would have said so. Maybe a few years ago I would have said, no, I think Floyd's, his career is more impressive. But the way Manny's continued and beat Furman, I've got to give it to Manny. So that's my thoughts. But go online. I haven't totaled up the numbers, but I feel like more people are saying that Pacquiao's career is better. But there's a lot of people that say Mayweather. So let me know.